I am back here in the original Snow Family Racing Garage with the beautiful 1965 Buick Riviera and 1981 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. I'm here to get two of my personal cars that haven't come over to Missouri yet, but I've got a problem. The problem is I only have one 24-foot enclosed trailer. So this beautiful 1956 Olds is going to go in that enclosed trailer. But that still leaves me with a problem. There's one more car. My amazing wife has said she's willing to drive my 1985 Buick Regal 1,100 miles home while I drive the motor home and pull the trailer. So we got to get this guy running good enough so that way she can drive it all the way home. The battery's dead. I brought my jump pack that has the tire inflator on it. There's a link in that in the description if you're interested. I'm going to hook this up, give it a squirt of some carb cleaner because I don't have starting fluid handy. But carb cleaner, it's the same thing, right? Let's see if it's going to live. That was entirely too easy. Aside from the battery being dead, which I'll get on a charger here in a couple of minutes, I'm going to take it for a run around the block just to see if there's anything else glaringly wrong. I know I need to change the oil and check all the fluids, but if this is it, this is too easy. I'm a little concerned for the trip. So I volunteered to go do something that any sane person would do. Take an unproven car to go get dinner.
That's right.
The pizza has arrived. The Regal's running, it's driving, it's doing what it's supposed to. So after a successful run of the Regal, we're back to the Olds. I got a tire inflator on this tire and that tire, and luckily, both rear tires seem to be holding air from whatever is on there. That's cool. I remember putting those on when he pulled it out years ago, and at least they're holding air. So that's a win. I'll check the pressure on them in a minute. So the tires are holding air. I've got my kinetic strap and a couple of soft shackles. I'm going to grab a hold of something under there. I'm going to hook up to the tractor, and we're going to try and pull this thing out of its moorings. I'm doubled up around the control arms with a soft shackle. My son's bringing the tractor in so that way we can give it a bump and see if we can get it out. Day two, it's windy as heck, so I'm in here. I've got to get my motorhome and trailer moved around so we can get that Olds in there. But I figured I'd tell you that here as opposed to out there when all you can hear is wind noise. So we're going to do some strategic shuffling, and we're going to get that Olds in the trailer. With the help of a couple of good neighbors, we got it this far. The rest of the way is just slow going with the come-along. Tuka, you know what I mean. So we're going to be at this for a few more minutes. One of the neighbors that helped push it in said, "Is it going to fit?" It fits. It's wide. It seems like it touches both sides, but it doesn't. Many thanks to a good old friend who gave me this come along. That thing is sweet. I love that thing. I need some oil on the chain, but you know, one thing at a time. Getting it tied down now. I'm tied over the control arms at the front. Hard to see. I'm around the frame at the back. I'm just wrapping up a little bit of maintenance before this thing drives 1,100 miles home. I've been driving it around town, and the biggest quirk that it has is the left turn signal doesn't auto-cancel, and there's a clunk somewhere underneath the car. I looked, I don't see something right away, but in the sake of time, we're just going to drive it. And on a fun side note, the local Walmart carries VR1 Valvoline. I run this in my El Camino. I didn't expect to find it off the shelf. Good enough there, it's good enough for this. So I'm going to finish up the oil change and get back on the road. Regal's topped up with gas. I'm ready to turn the keys over to my wife for the 1,100 mile drive home. All right, you ready for this drive?
Yep.
Let's go. 60 some odd miles in the book, and the Regal performed absolutely flawless. The motorhome, the heater core started leaking. I had some fueling problems, had to change off a fuel filter in a Walmart parking lot. I knew I should have taken care of that sooner, but that's life sometimes. So anyways, after that, the motorhome did good. It ran 70 miles an hour. I should have done that sooner. Oh well. Point of the story is, Regal, absolutely perfect. I'm impressed. I'm very pleased. Day 2, leaving Sydney, Nebraska. I'm all gassed up. The Regal's all gassed up. Although the Regal did give me a concern this morning. The starter wasn't kicking out the way it was supposed to, and it was just grinding against the flex plate. A handful of those, it did start, but makes me wonder just a little bit. The next stop, Kearney, Nebraska, about 3 hours away. Otherwise, things are going pretty good. Just passed under the Kearney Arch, and the biggest problem the Regal has, the speedometer broke and the gas gauge is wonky. So that totally takes out everything to watch on the dashboard. There's only 2 items, the speedometer and the gas gauge. The turn signals still work, so we're gonna keep going. Besides, we don't need a speedometer anyways. So this is fun. At least the spares aired up. Half hour later at the Walmart in York, Nebraska. Fresh tire with the right load range, we're back on the road. Just when you think you're about to get back on the road, my wife closed the door on the Regal and the window blew up. So I've got luckily traveling with a motorhome and trailer, I've got a generator. I'm gonna get this cleaned up so we can drive it. Got in late last night. I haven't even looked in the trailer yet. It's unlocked. Let's make sure the olds did okay. Still there. That's a good sign. It's sitting a little low. I think the tires are a little flat. Let's go check out the other end. We're getting so much rain through the night that the pond is filling up. My wife's going over to check it out. Well, still present. That little piece of dangly trim, that got hurt on a previous outing. But those are all carport pieces. The car's sitting exactly where it's supposed to be. So we'll work on getting that out. So aside from the glass breaking, how'd the Regal do?
It did great.
You know, you managed to put down the single best mileage that car's ever had at like 26 miles to the gallon, somewhere in Wyoming.
Yep.
Thanks for driving the car back.
No problem.
You'd think I'm a G-body guy or something here. The truth of the matter is I am. Anyway, I'm very glad to have the Regal here. It was my daily driver for a lot of years. Then I started working remotely. Didn't get driven near as much. I'm glad to have it here with me in Missouri so that way I can actually use it. It's got some things I'm going to work through, getting the door squared up to actually have a window that rolls up and down, not just shattered glass everywhere. My son's 11, and this could potentially be a fun project for me and him when it comes to the Teen Championship racing. If that's a thing at Flying H Motorsports Park, which fingers crossed, hoping that it is, that would be a fun one to turn into just a fun play car. Have a backup car for my El Camino in the event that it ever goes down. I need a backup car. Tap the Regal into place. Either way, this is going to be fun. I'm so glad to have both the Regal and the 56 here. The 56 is going to be a long-running project. That's going to be a full-tilt restoration. I'm thinking very period correct on that one. Maybe some period correct speed parts. That one deserves to stay very correct for the family's sake. They remember that car, and it means something to them, and I think I'm going to keep it in that vein. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of things coming with all the cars here at the Snow Family Racing Garage. We'll see you later.